It doesn't get to start. Can you close the door then? Hello, people. It's a bit of domestics here. Just I'm trying to get set up. Just give me a sec or two. Should get rid of that AMG helmet. I did a driving course, just like that. I should do the YouTube thing as well. Just give me a sec for that. Where am I? There I am. That's the YouTube link. Okay. Where is C is the question, right? Where is that back? Mine? No. That's better. Oh, I should have done on that chart, but anyway. Okay, guys, thanks for joining. If you haven't watched my previous stream, there's some content that I discussed in there that's pretty much relevant to this session as well. I'm going to try to stay away from structure because the structure keeps changing, and in the micro level, and I'm gonna look at the bigger picture and see how we go. You think we buy now or sell? Too early, very too early. I'd rather watch this. So you can see on the chart right now, there's a resistance level. So if you look at this, actually, let me just get one of my tools out. Don't need the cam. You can see that I draw this Fibonacci level from the top to the bottom, and it's got a lot of confluence with these levels, hasn't it? So you can see here, this fib level acted as support, almost resistance with this. Actually, this defined the resistance level in this case. with the volume profile, and we've got formations all over the place. This looks like a breakdown of a wedge, and it's pretty much hit its target, close to it. That's close enough for the target. So we've got resistance, prices coming up. We spent a bit of time here trying to make it go back up, and it failed. So this will likely to act like a resistance for the time being, and it'll make one or two attempts in the short time span and potentially drop more, and it's okay. And it might just range here as well. You don't know, and it might just go up from there. I don't know, and some formation. But we can't say anything. It's too early, and there's no point of jumping in early if it's going to drop down. We want to see what kind of structure there is. This was a good one because this was a dump, and therefore it sprung. Well, now we can see people are more cautious, and the news that came out, I don't know if you have seen it, but there was future contracts options, and because Bitcoin looked weak, I think and Ethereum, a lot of people aren't taking up those options, and therefore on Friday, the options were available to buy or sell. And it looks like, and I'll post that link, you can read up on it. It looks like a lot of people prefer to sell rather than buy up the options on that current price. So that could be another reason. That's one main reason that it dropped from Friday. As all at the same time, you can see this inclining wedge, but it was at a key level as well. So news is one thing, but the other aspect is we've always had this price resistance. On my other chart, we had this level, and that was a strong resistance. You can't argue with that. But why? I didn't expect it to drop that hard, though. That's the thing. So that level there is expected to drop. That was a fake out, and then that I expected to range, not drop so much. I think the news with China and the options made that drop hard. So we don't have any clear indication if this is the bottom, and you can see with this profile that this level is the major resistance, the middle section. So there's no rush. Now here's the thing I want to say as well. Let me just go back to one of my other charts. Where are we? The CME chart. And I'll explain a few things, which is interesting. Let me go to the daily, I think it was. Unfortunately, I've been having issues with this chart, and it wouldn't save. So all my work wouldn't save. Anyway, here's the thing that I want to make a point. This formation here, and I learned this off some guy on the internet. So sometimes it's worth listening to other traders. I'm still learning, and he gave a good point, and I'm going to share that here. Date. This was a distribution process here, and it took 126 days. What he said was that was a distribution. The reaccumulation roughly takes about the same. That's what he said. And similarly, I believe this, you can say this is a bit of a distribution area as well. And if we get that, about the same time, same amount of reaccumulation. So what they're saying here, if we determine that the distribution with this CME chart, this is a CME chart, so we're going to talk about a few things. If this is the distribution, which is that wedge formation, then we can say from that point onwards to the point of distribution before it dropped, I think I had 77 days, but anyway, 77 days. If it took 77 days to distribute, it's going to take about 77 days down here for reaccumulation. And so that's August, in the pretty much end of August. And I'm taking everyone can hear me clearly, so that's okay. So that's the expectation, how long this will take. So we're pretty much about halfway of this process. This process over here, you can see over here, that's a nice bottoming formation, which was Adam and Eve or a triangle, either way. And there's lessons learned here. So you can see that formation taking place. This was pretty much the black swan event. This is a nice formation that took. That's clear. That's a reversal. This is a clear reversal. This one is very clear to be a reversal. Here we don't have it. It's not clear yet, is it? So we don't have a clear picture. What we have here is the CME gap right there, which has confluence with the 100 moving average on the weekly. I believe it's 100. Yep. So the 100 moving average on the weekly is coming to the 0.5 Fibonacci level. So I've taken this 0.5 from here, from this beginning of this parabolic move to the upside. So that impulse wave, they tend to say that's where you measure it from. I'm going to disregard this for the time being and just use this reference as a fib level. And you can see the 0.618 is currently holding price up. And the next level down could be that. I can reverse that. Give me a sec. It's a 0.5. So the 0.382 is holding support, and the 0.5 has confluence with the 100 moving average and the CME gap and a whole bunch of other things. So that looks like a nice candidate. Now, let's talk about Elliott wave. Wrong. What's wrong? The other aspect to this, there's a few fib levels. We can see all my settings have disappeared with this stupid chart. Let me see if it's on the other chart. Where am I? All my settings are gone. Bugger. Okay, here we go. So a lot of traders believe this is the Elliott cycle. So we've got the major ones, 1, 2, 3, and we're doing wave 3 to 4, and the correction, so ABC, from 3 to 4. Now the question is, where's that going to be? So that's what we're trying to explore. And yeah, this chart sucks. So let me see, where's the other chart? I'll try using this chart. All my settings are gone. Let me just move this across, get to the daily. Actually, these are my own settings just to see what kind of reversal patterns there are. And you can see if I did the top as 0 and the bottom as 1, or if I do this, give me a sec, put on the log. There we go. If I use this point as 1, we have the 1.272 as support, or the 0.618. Depends. It could go many ways, right? what it seems to be, and yeah, people who think it's Head and Shoulders are crazy, because this will go to zero. If this was Head and Shoulders, the price will go to zero. So let's rule that out. What we want to see is from an Elliott wave perspective. So I want to discuss that. Unfortunately, my harmonics are also disappeared. Bloody hell. So I'm going to talk about Elliott wave, just talk about Elliott wave theory a bit, and I'm going to also talk about harmonics, see how harmonics come into this picture, and then see where confluence is. So right now we don't see a bottoming formation. Okay, this was a nice bottoming formation because the trend was upwards, so we can see that. But this one doesn't look like a reversal formation. So we're looking for a reversal. This was almost there. Like you can see, this was also almost curved, and then we dropped. So now that becomes resistance. This area becomes a strong resistance. So now the question is this going to be a bottoming formation and then move up? Or are we going to do one more leg down? Okay. There's no clear answer. So let's talk about the Elliott wave theory, and that will give some light into what we're expecting. So what we have, where are we? ABC. So the correction wave. Now the correction wave, we want to know where C is, and we don't know. That's what we're looking for. So let's just put that to the side. Okay, we're looking for a correction. Even though you look at this because it's on the log setting, it doesn't look right. But if I was to get rid of the log setting, you can see how amplitude changes. So from there to there is pretty much, give us a look. From the top there to the bottom is a 25% drop. And from there to there is 46% drop. So that's okay. So that seems to be right. And I can tell you why it seems to be right. If we were to do this as well, fib extension. So if we do from there to the bottom to the top, you can see our target is the golden ratio, 1.618. That's why a lot of people think this should be it. But it doesn't always work that way. All right. So this came down a bit more. We might have a few more wicks. Who knows? And that might be enough. But this should be a clear sign where, because it took a long time for the distribution, as I said before, the rule that I understand that makes sense, the distribution period should be the reaccumulation period. Down here, we'll put that down there. So 77 days, roughly, I got. So if that is the case, then we only got half the picture. Really, we only got half the structure, and I can't envision what the structure is going to look like. And I think that's where a lot of people struggle as well, because we're only halfway. If that's the case for the reaccumulation, then it's possible that it can go a bit further down. I have the CME gap, like I said before. Let's see where the CME chart is again. So if this is the CME chart, we have the gap here, and the prices on CME charts aren't exactly matching BINADS, so just be careful of that. So if I look at that, that is 26 to, yeah, so we've got 26,600 to 23,900. All right. 24 to 26.7. Let's say that 24, 26.7. So 24. Where's 24? 24 roughly. So 20. Oh, come on. I want a bloody pattern. All right, let's just do that and we'll get it. That's the CME gap, right, roughly. And if I add, like I did before, add the 100, which on the weekly, and if I was to just add that and make that 50, 50 was acting as support, and pretty much we lost that. So we've got a fair bit of resistance now above us. So 50 was acting as support. We lost that 50. Now we're pretty much looking to bounce, ranging, and it looks like we've got a bit of support. If you look onto the left, it took a while as well to find that support at that level. So if you look at this previous support, you got the wicks down here, so that there is some demand down there, and this one might come down once more. Now from the Elliott theory, where are we? Let's get the. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 ever so slow, low. Okay. Now the question is, this all makes sense, and the fact that it's way 3 to 4 is complex makes sense. So this could still hold it up, but there's no, at the moment there is no confirmation. There's no evidence of a reversal pattern. All I see is it's touching the bottom a fair bit, and we're sort of like in the bottom half now, right? So we're pretty much, that's the resistance level right there on the daily. You can see it. So that daily got the rejection and came down. Whatever the reasons it got rejected, it doesn't matter. That was the daily, strong daily support. Once we lost that, come down here, it's going to struggle. The struggle is okay. That's the bottoming formation. So like I said, 77 days, roughly around there, from there to there. So if the bottoming formation is going to take this space and volatility just slows down, that's a good sign. Okay. Like my voice. Okay, thank you. So the bottoming formations like this, if it spends time here, it's fine. So there's no need to rush. You're not going to miss out, because you could be rest assured that this is going to be resistance. And if it ranges, if we see a few bounces in there, then we should be able to see the reversal pattern come out. So what's the reversal pattern? Well, whatever the reversal is, it comes down. We want to see whatever formation it takes, that we count the numbers of the wave. It should be 5. 3 touches at the top, and it could be a triangle. It could be something, any formation. It could, as long as you just count the numbers, and when you see that formation about to break, that's when I will go in. There's no rush. This is for the long scenario going along. So if this is the level, which it potentially can, no one could tell you it's not or it is. If we're to lose the 30,000, the 618 level here on the 4-hour, then I would say this is the next level, right down to this CME gap, 24 to 26K, maybe that fib extension. There's a few levels, like if we measure it in different ways, we'll probably see a range. We don't know which one's going to be exact, but it's close enough. So if we were to lose this level, 30,000, so we had that wick here, that was testifying to this here, same range. Wave 5 should be around here, slightly low, because this wave 4 was slightly higher right there. So wave 5 makes sense to be here, and then we should see a reversal formation if this is the case. If we lose 30,000 on the 4 hours, then definitely we'll go down to this one, and that wave 5, that makes sense as well. The strong business case here is a 618 fib or the 1.618 fib extension, or the 618 fib level. So if we look at that, let's just hide some of those scribbles. Now, I think the other good, if I don't forget, so I covered this scenario from an Elliott wave perspective, and I had the chart. Where is it here? Give me a sec. This is not the one. Why isn't it coming up? Did I close it? Give me a sec, guys. I must have closed it. Okay. So what I had, what I'm going to do is cover the harmonics, the harmonic perspective. So if we have that there as the reference point, coming all the way down here to there, 1.13, give me a sec. Perfect. All right. Let me just make that bigger so you can see it. Let me just move that across. I missed something. How do I move this across? All right, we'll move that across for the time being. If it's a shark formation, so if this is the case, and it comes, this is a strong harmonic, and from the shark harmonic, it should come 886, or could be 1.1618 as well. So if this is the shark harmonic, this is a strong case as well. I didn't get it quite right. Let me just have a look at my notes. Where's the shark harmonic? Okay, so if we lose the 30,000 level, or this, and you can see these two levels here combined have confluence for this support level, as well as this support level here, previous support. So if we lose this on the 4 hour, then I'll be interested in this shark harmonic playing out. And so that's a pretty good case. There's other harmonics that come in, but this one appeals to me because of the range. The other target for a shark harmonic is the 2.24. So 2.24, roughly 2.24 is around there, which is a double top pretty much, and that's fine. So then you can, because you got to expect a rejection at this level for sure, double top. All right, first one's always going to be a rejection. There's no dispute about that. So far so good for people. So far that's making sense. Now, everyone's interested in, is this the bottom? Should I jump in? Should I not? No one can give you that answer, and I can't either. So my advice is to you is, you've got two options, one here and one there. If this area is a reversal, a few dollars, waiting for confirmation that there is a formation taking place for reversal, I'd rather wait for that rather than, or you can level in, buy now, and then if it drops more, buy more. And if this continues to go up, then you add, the strategy is you got to take risks. And no matter who you listen to at the moment, there's all different types of versions, right? Everyone has a different perspective. Bearish, bullish. I'm still bullish. I still believe this is a good level. I just want to see what happens here. So it doesn't matter what happens with the chart. If there's external factors coming into it, it does bring the price down. So and Bitcoin's not immune to it. But from a elite wave perspective, there's two scenarios that make sense. Like I said, this one here makes sense. That's not the where is it? This one here. This made sense. It's lower than impulse 3 to 4 to 5, so that makes sense. However, there's a range here, and give me a second, I'll get my notes out. That if it was to drop that range, impulse C, we expect it to be from 29,950. So let me just do that. That's trend line, isn't it? So I've got to do the same. So that's the CME gap is a range, but this makes sense here as well. Okay, so that's the range I will be looking at. Even though the CME gap's there, it could touch this level here as well, just because of this formation here. Anyway, as price goes sideways, this moving average might come up a bit. So I do believe this 100 moving average has a lot to do with it as well. Now here's from a structural perspective, let's have a look at that. So that harmonic's there. Let me hide that. Now we have this channel. You always draw a channel because you never know where it's going to go to. It's not quite what I wanted. That's a bit better. Let me just flatten that out a bit. It's the daily, yes. Sometimes having a log is not advantage to us. You can see, if I put that in the background, yep, pretty much good. You can see there's a trend line, pretty much, right there, that is acting as resistance based on this channel. So if we had this channel as well from the top, this line is acting as resistance. So if you're interested in buying, I would say let it break past this line, this trend line, because if we have 2 points touching, That's the third point touching. This is the fourth, roughly. So if price was to range, if it breaks to the upside, I would jump in. Potentially it can drop. That could be another reason for it. So this could be a pivot level. So these are all pivots. So, and this is, as you can see, is a major resistance now. If I was to go bullish, if you're more conservative, you can wait for it to break above this purple level, and then that's if you're conservative, you can do that. Wait for that breakout, or you can wait for this. This will give you a bit more of a chance, this trend line, because it's a macro trend line, and this, and if we envisioned last time, if it drops, you can see that there could be a wedge. For my say, if this was a drop, I do see this being support and breaking up. So this is a very good level to jump in. However, this, for the time being, we don't have the answer here, right? So that's pretty much it at the moment. So I've given you the Elliott wave perspective, the harmonics perspective, um, and the this macro channel as well, and the duration, the time duration, which is new to me as well, and it fits the model. Look, I don't. When people say, there's some people that think it's going 20,000, it can do that, but it doesn't fit a lot of the conventional things that a lot of traders use, which is pretty much Elliott wave theory. So, and you heard them on the social media or YouTube, or whatever the case may be, that this is, you will see that a lot of people will say that's the wave one, that's wave two, that's wave three, the big picture, wave four, and then up wave five. All right. If you look at this from a chart perspective, this coming down below 20,000 doesn't make sense. It doesn't, based on this theory, Elliott wave count. It doesn't. Wave four can't go below wave one. That's it. It doesn't work. So it has to be above wave one, which is there, which is what, 14, 15K. So this could go down anywhere below that, from this range. Obviously 20,000 or 19,000, whatever, this area here is all-time high in 2017. So that's possible. And then you can look at this wave count in a different perspective. But having said that, what do we think of a price? So if this was to go pull back to all the way down here, that is 70% pullback. That is a bear market, 70%. And that becomes a bear market in a way. And we lost a 21 weekly moving average, so we're already pretty much in a bear cycle, a bear market. And no, I just see that bit too bearish to go down that low. I just see there's a lot of demand at this level here on the 24 to 26 range. That's my personal opinion. Would it make it? The market is very different in the past. So if we add the 21 weekly moving average, let's just do that for a sec. So by definition, if you consider losing the 21 weekly average, that is a bear market, and we didn't even touch it. We didn't even get to touch the 21 weekly moving average. So the pressure is downwards. So let's look at the price right now. Let's look at, so we've talked about a few things here. I'm going to next move on to the indicators and see what the indicators tell us on a bigger picture. Let's go to the 4 hour. Let's see what it says. Okay. Because I'm cashed up still. I did take some money on the way down. So once it passed a certain point, I said, yep, I'm going to take money off the table and potentially buy cheaper coins. Now the 4 hour looks good, but you can see it's just approaching that resistance level. Let me have a look on the 30-minute. Now that's not bad. So that's a good strong reversal, isn't it? Just all right, let's see from another perspective. Give me a sec. So that's the 50 weekly moving average right there. What do we see here? So we've done the wedge, ascending wedge. Yeah, this area is going to be hard to pass. And let's look at the 5 minute. Let's see what it's showing. A, B, C. I think it's going to range. It's finding good support. Not a bad support area. So down here, so you can see how this resistance here became support roughly. So the initial bounce there, resistance there, became support. So the bulls are jumping in. So here was very aggressive, very strong response. Here's a bit lethargic. All right, what can we see here? All right, if we were to count this, if that's A, that's my A, that's my B, that's my C, could be my D. No, that means it's going to keep coming down, so that doesn't make sense. Very difficult to figure out what's going on here. The only thing I had last time, let me see on the 30 minutes, everything that I drew kept getting broken. So we had, what was it? Where that line? Actually, this is not. You can probably see the W path. So if you have a formation, you can have the W, right? Or you can have, I've done this before, slightly higher, and then a breakout. So they're two bullish. Now, I'm going to look at the indicators. I'm going to show you something. That's possible. You know, we treat this section here. This section is one big complex formation, and that's complete. That played out. This is another one that's taking place, but we don't know what it's looking like, and that's the problem. And you only got a bit of the puzzle for a reversal. I just saw, hi, I love you. Thank you. Okay. So if we look at the indicators, let's see what the indicators tell us. At the micro level, at the moment, we agree that that's resistance, right? This pocket has to be resistance. And the wick pretty much showed it, but the price isn't dropping yet, so which is a good sign. So what I do? It held 30,000, perfect, right? So that's even though it dropped, you can see the bulls holding on. Is it enough to make it go up? Well, two bounces usually is enough. If we disregard this area completely and look at this in a different picture, different way, it definitely makes sense to treat this separately. A W formation and up it goes. But that's me being bullish. So at the moment, that's a scenario. There's another scenario which is the bearish scenario, which is A, B, C. Right? That from 4 to 5, you can have the A, B, C. Actually, from 4 to 5, there's 5 impulse. Yeah. I forgot about that, didn't I? So in the from 4 to 5, there's if you look at where is it? Uh, I'll do it again. There is 5. Where is it? This is a good example, right? See this picture here? No, it doesn't open up. That's weird. In there from B to C, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulses. Okay, that's these mini impulses. So if we look at our chart here, from there to there, you can say that's 1, 2, 3, 4. You would expect it a bit more lower, wouldn't you? So that's I would expect a bit lower, unless you. No, that doesn't work there. But definitely, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay. That could be 5 as well. Very confusing. Anyway, I'm not going to be adding more value to that by looking at that. Let's look at the bigger picture on the indicators. What the big indicators tell us. I'll look at the weekly first. No, I don't want to do that. So you can see on the RSI, on the weekly, remember last time I did this, we had this line. And I said it might find that a support. So it still hit itself on the weekly. So this gives me the mindset that it is going towards 24 to 26K with this RSI. The week's not over. This is not the best indicator as well, the RSI, but it gives us an idea. Here we have energy pretty much going up. So there is, give us a sec, and I'll add the MACD to it. So the wave trend shows that the lines between them are roughly about the same. So the momentum to the downside is still there on the weekly. So is this. So the week, we need to see the week close, the weekly candle. So if we'll hide, you can see the weekly candle being pretty much there. negative at the moment. That is a bearish combination if it ends up like that. Now, if we look at the daily, you can see we've got price here pretty much flat. If I said just delete everything for the time being, if you look at this, price is pretty flat, right? So far, it's working out that it's a bullish divergence, right? That's pretty much. But what we had, unfortunately, right there, if you look at the MACD, we had the crossover. So the bullish divergence played out up to that point, and now we're going back down again. And that's on the daily. This could easily turn around as well, but at the moment it doesn't look like it. But the bullish divergence is there, so I don't see this falling down much, purely because of the upward momentum. This could go sideways for a while, right? To go bullish, you want to see the blue crossing the red again, the signal crossing over the MACD. From a daily perspective, you can see the RSI. Once we break this level, this RSI, it acted as resistance. Okay, so that's what's happening there. That red candle was pretty much reflecting this RSI when it dropped down. Then we have all this. So I'm using this as well for reference. If we break that, I'm going to be very, very positive bullish. Then we have this second level, and you can see that that's also acted as resistance. So that's becoming strong resistance at that level there. The wave trend is also downwards momentum, so it really depends on the candle here in the next day. So really, we got to wait for a day to get an idea if this is going to turn around. At the moment, everything, you can see everything's south. We've got the middle section 50%. We're almost above it, and then we got stuffed up and it just came back down. So the momentum is still to the downside. I don't see this easily holding this level up, not with the daily. Let's look at the 12 hour. So yeah, so we're up to there. Okay. So the MACD is not going to help us. It's just showing that it's got rejection on that. Yeah, there's nothing bullish with the indicators on the 12 hour. 4 hour? No, there's nothing on the 4 hour either at the moment. So I won't be rushing in to buy on the 4 hour. It's got a lot of work to do with the indicators. If I look on the 1 hour, the only thing that's going up is on the 1 hour. But you can see on the 1 hour, so if I can get rid of this now, the MACD is going sideways. Yeah, so MACD is going sideways. Bit of a bullish divergence there if it goes up, but that's probably played out already on the 1 hour. This is going up, but so you got this red signal still in the below 50%. So not much happening there to help us out. Short term and long term is still ranging. If we were to look on, I had a chart. We just put that on hold for a sec. We'll just check something. Yeah, it doesn't. There's nothing that really gives it away, does it? With the fibs. So far from there to there to there. The 618 is 20. Yeah, it's 26k again. So the 0.5. We've already played that. So if it comes down, so the other scenario is by doing this fib extension, the 0.618 from that perspective, from there to there to there, swing high, swing low, the 618 is possible. So again, it gives case to the 100 moving average. And that's, so we've got to lose this on the 4 hour, this level. So that's where I'm at the moment. Can't really add much more to that. And if we look at, I want to see from a different perspective, just give me a sec. I had it in the past and I want to look at it again. This Bitcoin, is that the one? Okay, that's the one. And I've got this logarithmic curve. So add it on, come on, come on. Should be one of my favorites, where is it? Okay, that's the one. So let's look at from those tools, see if they can help us out. Just hide these. Unfortunately, the default is in white. So it should be around here, right? Right, that one there. Okay. So what's the one above it? There. So if we look at this logarithmic curve chart, so that gives a case as well to being, that was the bottom with this line. So we have, so this is the weekly. Let's look on the daily, see what the daily does. Yep, the daily, look at that. That's also a major fib level from this logarithmic curve. So it's likely, so if, let's look at this, all right? Look at the NVT on the bottom, this here. You can see ever so, if we lose that, you can see it's going to drop, right? And that's pretty much a 30,000 level. So this tells us that it's the same. If we lose the 30,000, we're going down deep. And it's probably, if you look at this, so previous bottoms, that was a previous bottom there. That was a previous, that's a COVID bottom. So we have room to go lower, don't we? So that was capitulation. That was another capitulation. And you can see that potentially the RSI can go further down from this perspective. These ones are overbought. So you can see that in the past, whenever these go red, it's to sell. And so we had that drop. Even this ABC is there as well. You can use RSIs as well. You can do fib levels on RSIs as well. I didn't know that. I saw someone do it and I was surprised. You can do this as well. Obviously, you got to get your reference points right. So this, yeah, so that's pretty much a 272 roughly. It's not going to help us, but it does show you that if we lose that, it's definitely going down to this level here where the previous lows were as a reference point. Pretty much it. I can't add any more than that. There's this other curve. Let me see this one here. There's two versions out there of the purple. That doesn't help at all. Previous confluent. Yeah. That's a wrap, guys. I can't really add more to that. Looking at the price at the moment, as you can see, it's just holding on and not looking good on the daily. So my advice is to just wait to see if there's any more clues. If you already bought in, don't sell. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Do we see anything else? No, nothing's going to help us out this on this one. MACD, if you look at it, no, it's not going to help us out at all on the short time frame. No, 2 hour just shows bearish. 4 hour bearish. Bit of a, yeah, if this was to turn around, but that's going to be obvious. If we get this MACD on the 4 hour to go above this 0 level, then that's a good sign. But then that's going to be pretty obvious that's going to break that resistance. So yeah, hopefully that's enough. What's the indicator's name for? They're called Bitcoin log growth curve, and there's the other one which is log growth curve. Pretty much two of those. The Phoenix doesn't help me here at all. The short term. If I was to get rid of this, yeah, you can see that's just holding the bottom. It's not really breaking out at all. And the formation I had last time, we have this potential. The only thing I can see bullish on this is this level here, where it's a broadening wedge. Okay, but that broadening wedge, which is a reversal pattern, for this reversal pattern to be true, it needs to break that level here. Because if we were to do the count, that's our A, our B, our C, or even D there, E there. So even if I got it wrong and I move this across, so if I get this wrong, if I put that as A, that's our B, C, D, well, it's going to be pretty obvious if we break this level that is E. So again, it doesn't help us until we see more information in a short time span. This structure works, but for it to work, it has to break this level, this prior resistance. And so if that's for you guys, if you want to wait for that long, that's a level that is confirmation for me for this formation to work. The other the negative scenario, if it was to drop, then I see, like I said last time, we can ignore this line, and so formation becomes subjective as I said last time. So this, we can then have that, a wedge formation. So we're going through the scenarios where we don't have all the clues. So that could be pretty much A, B, C, D, E, and that works for me, and that comes down to here. So if we do something similar to that, I would be interested in to definitely buy at this 100 moving average as well. If we see slow descent, not strong bouncing around, and if it's slow and low volatility slows down, that tells us that we're coming down to support. And in the past, if you look at previous bottoms, like let's see here, down here the volatility slowed down. Macro bottoms, I would suggest that you study them. You can see if you were there and you had that bounce, you would go, okay, that was a clear established resistance, and you can see that there was a bit of a triangle there as well, or a wedge. So it does fit the case where we had this, and we're having this range, and then it slowly descends, slowly descends, and then up it goes. So that scenario fits my hypothesis if that was to take place. If this was to take place, it's obviously in a bigger scale, but that slow descent and then a reversal, a breakout. So you can see that's a breakout from that line. We need to look for something like that as well. Maybe it's not that aggressive. Maybe it's more like this, right? Maybe I don't have more lines yet, so the lines could be maybe like that. Let's just see what happens. That could be another case where, all right, that's our B. And if you see this slowly happening, well, yeah, that makes sense, because you're seeing a slowdown of volatility in a structure, and let's just see how it goes. That is another possibility. Having something with formations is subjective to what you think it could be, and you can only do that when you've got enough lines. One line is not enough. Two touches, no. 3 touches, yes. We need 3, minimum of 3. 4 is better. So we had what we got sucked in there is we had 3 touches, even more actually, and we thought that was it. That was the breakout, and that was a fake out. So we had enough touches there to say that was confirmation, and it didn't work. So they really stuffed us up dead with liquidity. Now they're trying to push us down potentially. But anyway, that's all I got. So let me see if there's any questions. I'll look at YouTube as well. So if there's any on YouTube. Okay, no comments there. That's okay. Cool. So I'm counting down. Hopefully this helps you out. If you missed out, Goblin Town soon. Nah, I don't know what that means. Oh, okay. Goblin Town. I like that. A few love yous. Oh, thank you. My head's grown. Any future signals? I'm not sure what does that mean. Future signals in terms of trading. Yeah, potentially, but not this level. This is just too sideways. There's no trend, so no one's brave enough to give signals. I just think this is accumulation at the moment. So the accumulation is taking place, and finding the bottom is going to be the difficult one. So I've gone through a few scenarios. This scenario sort of matches 2008. By ignoring this, the rest could be enough, but we need to see what happens. There's not enough on the chart to tell us go bullish. And let's look at the 1 hour. Okay, so the 1 hour is looking good, and it's actually broken past what we found resistance. So that's looking positive. That's a bullish candle. So that's got 1, 2, 3. If this we've got another 8 minutes, that might be enough to keep going. I personally won't jump in until I see it break past this level, purely because there's a lot of demand here. So I would expect that will be resistance right there. Maybe a bit higher. Yeah, if it passes that with decisiveness, if it goes up, then potentially we'll continue on. If it goes like this, and you get a little mini head and shoulders, I would treat this as a breakout trade. So look for a breakout trade. Use that line. I got that line. To me, that's a good line. That's 32,200. So I will treat that as a breakout. So what is a breakout trade? You got a resistance, and it could be on an angle as well. You get your first touch, your second touch. Second touch confirms its resistance. Third touch shows that it's weakening, and then go for the fourth. That's ideal. Or it could be even if you rejection, and that's a head and shoulders and up. So that looks like what's taking place. Bit of a triangle breakdown. The apex is there. That's the resistance level. And just wait to see how the touches go through. If it's decisive and it breaks through quickly, perfect. That just shows it's very bullish. I doubt that's going to happen. I'll expect a bit of a resistance, similar to here actually. You know, that happened there. Look at that. Use that as an example. That wasn't inverse head and shoulders. That was just showing you that how this level was a major resistance, and therefore I'll see this area as major resistance as well. And then I would use that breakout trade. But look what it did. The bastards pulled it back. So anyone who put the stop limits here, it stops these pricks. Make sure they were liquidated before they went up. Bastards. Anyway, I think that's a wrap. No one's asking any questions. That's the short-term opportunity. Actually, one thing we didn't do, which could make a difference, Bitcoin dominance. Let's have a look at that. Get away. So let's look at Bitcoin dominance, because if Bitcoin dominance, where is it? I had the chart here somewhere. Okay, might have to do it again. Let's look on the daily Bitcoin dominance. If Bitcoin dominance was to go up more, then we know that it's probably due to dropping. So you can see it's pretty much at a resistance level. Looking to the left, you can say this area is definitely resistance, and it has a bit of a range. So we've got some wicks there, and okay, so that's pretty much it. So if I was to put the log in, so you can see the fib level is resistance there. Now I had a trend line as well. That was our trend line roughly. So that's going to be a major resistance as well. So if Bitcoin dominance, you can see it's pretty much done a W, and it's found this as resistance, right? If this was to come down, beautiful. Let's look at the indicator, what it's saying. On the daily, there's not much. Let's look at RSI. But the reason why I'm looking at Bitcoin dominance is if we have a clue as to if Bitcoin dominance is going to go up or down, then that gives us an inclination. If Bitcoin dominance is going to go down, we know that price is going to go up because the alts will start rallying. But if Bitcoin dominance is going to go up, it's more likely because Bitcoin is going to drop. Here we have actually what looks like a breakdown. Potentially, it's matching price at the moment. It's got similar formation. So it's likely that Bitcoin dominance is going to drop. Actually, if we look at that closer, it's actually just a bit complicated actually. So here was resistance. From here, you see all the wicks. Or you can have a bit of an angle. So that doesn't look good either, right? That's a reversal. That looks like Bitcoin dominance is going to go up. Maybe to this level or maybe more. So I see Bitcoin, based on the formation, I think Bitcoin dominance is going to go up to this level. Does that equate to our, if Bitcoin dominance is going to go up, does that mean Bitcoin is going to drop in value? So this might just go a bit more higher, matching these buggers here as resistance and then drop. Would that equal to 25, 24K? It's possible, but I do see dominance going up. If I look at on the 2-day, let me see 2-day. Yeah, see this is still up on the 2-day. On the weekly is pretty much upward momentum. Here we've got upward momentum as well. Hidden bullion, yep. Divergence kicked in. It does look like it's going to come up to this level, Bitcoin dominance, and find resistance. So that, yeah, Bitcoin can probably drop a bit more for dominance to go up, or the alts drop in value and Bitcoin just stays where it is. One of the two. It's not easy. So we covered the gap, and we covered pretty much everything I think of. Some of it, most of what I've talked about is confluent with levels. Watch what level it, and that's the 30,000 level. And there's nothing more I can add to, really, is watch that level And let's see what Ethereum is doing. So Ethereum's found support. It's also done a W formation as well. I was thinking of this scenario as well, potentially coming down. That makes sense if it comes down here. ADA looks bullish. All you want to do is watch ADA break this level. So it came, got rejected, came to this blue line, got rejected. So ADA is more likely, this is the buy zone. If ADA comes down here, I would buy. And it didn't come low enough. But if ADA comes down here, definitely buy. And then you have a good formation there. So even better when it breaks this level. But definitely this grey box area is for ADA. I think so. Where there's weekly support and a lot of confidence, lot of history acting as support. And I think this is coming down to here. This is wave 3, wave 4, complex. Wave 4 is complex, but you can see it's more of a triangle formation. Really nice. And if it comes down, most likely to break up from this formation. So ADA is one of those ones I've accumulated, and I want to see it drop a bit more so I can get it. I missed this one here. Maybe I should put a lucky price there, a bit of a wick if it drops. Get lucky. Anyway, that's ADA. TRX, I did notice that it's doing well against Bitcoin. And TRX accumulation zone, that's my box there. That's it, guys. I can waffle on and talk about anything. No one's asking me any questions, so hopefully that helped you out. Have a good night. It's 10 p.m. here. Have a good weekend, and stay tuned for more updates. Hopefully it goes to plan. Thanks, guys. Ciao.